The most profitable scenario for the market makers also happens to be the most painful scenario for retail investors and traders who are trying to participate in the digital asset market. And in today's update, we're going to talk about that scenario $1 XRP before a $10 XRP and how we are positioned. We also have the up to date current situation taking place now with this global conflict in the Middle East. President Trump sending out threats, potential peace talks taking place this weekend. We'll see if it actually goes down. As we always say, watch what they do, not what they say. And we're going to break down today's setup in a quick update. A lot to cover, so I'm going to get right on to it. Quick apology for me for not getting out an update yesterday. I had to take my son. He had the 1-month checkup for our newborn, and then we did a family Costco trip after that. So it was a whole day fiasco of running errands. My apologies for no update yesterday. So let's get you caught up to speed here today. Quick warning, have you maxed out your IRA contributions for 2025? The deadline, unless you extend, is going to be April 15th next week. You have 5 days. So let us know. I got our sponsor, iTrust Capital, linked up down below, and you'll get a $100 funding bonus when you use my link. But only 5 days left to go to fund that IRA for 2025. Get it done. President Trump tells Iran that they have no cards other than the Strait of Hormuz. Direct quote is, "The Iranians don't seem to realize they have no cards other than a short-term extortion of the world by using international waterways. The only reason they are alive today is to negotiate." This is breaking within the past hour from President Trump. Quinn Thompson points out here that tomorrow Europe gets its last shipment of oil from the Strait of Hormuz. Based on that timing, if the strait were to open tomorrow, Europe's next oil shipment would come at the end of May. Reports are circulating that countries are beginning to ration fuel. So what's next? So even if we do get peace this weekend, you have to understand the ripple effects are already being sent out, and we will be dealing with this over the next few months at a minimum, assuming that peace was achieved this weekend, which it won't be. Speaker of Iran's parliament says that ceasefire in Lebanon and release of blocked Iranian assets must occur before negotiations begin. It seems like we don't even know who's going to be on the Iranian delegation for this peace talk. You got guys like this, the Speaker of Iran's parliament, coming out and saying these 2 points need to be met before we even start negotiations, which isn't going to happen either. This just isn't happening. I mean, we might have some sort of staged conversation, peace talk with somebody. I'm not buying it. And maybe I'm wrong. You guys let me know in the comments down below. But we have 70 transport planes landed in the Middle East within 24 hours of the quote-unquote ceasefire, which never was a ceasefire. It didn't stop. The war has continued this whole time. The scale suggests possible preparation for a ground offensive, solidifying suspicion that Trump is using the truce to regroup. We saw the same thing in Ukraine, Russia. The Minsk peace talks that were going to take place only bought time for Ukraine to bolster their forces, resupply, so that we could go into the next phase of escalation in the conflict. The same thing's taking place right now. Yes, we are planning a ground invasion. This is a comment from this gal who is showing the flight radar map. It's going down. It's going down, right? I retweeted this. I said, watch what they do, not what they say. President Trump says that we will find out, though. The results of talks with Iran will be clear in about 24 hours. We're going to know soon. He also threatens, we have a reset going. We're loading up the ships with the best ammunition, even at a higher level than we use, to do a complete decimation. Position yourself accordingly. And my Discord group knows the trade that I just entered to hedge my bets and to position myself. Not only do I have buy orders placed for XRP and a couple other digital assets as well, we're ready to buy the dip. But I'll just let everybody know, full disclosure, that I'm also now in an oil long. So I'm positioned for this. It's a hedge. So when my crypto is going back down, when this escalation picks up, oil's going to tick back up. It's not priced in properly right now. And that's my thesis. You guys let me know if you agree, disagree. But I'm currently, and I am now officially not an XRP. You already know I'm in an XRP long. But to hedge that bet, I'm also in an oil long in anticipation of the next round of escalation. Morgan Stanley gets it. If this ceasefire breaks and the U.S. resumes its military campaign, that would be the beginning of a worst-case scenario where civilian infrastructure is targeted. WTI, which is the oil measurement, right, the oil index, makes new highs and equities make new lows. The feel of a binary outcome is likely to paralyze investors. So JP Morgan pointing out that if we break this current ceasefire that's not a ceasefire, the next round of escalation might be the worst. Civilian infrastructure will be targeted, and WTI is going to make new highs according to them. So I position myself accordingly, not going to give anybody financial advice, but that's the rundown of the current events and the conflict as of this hour. It's about 10:30 a.m. on the West Coast as I record this update. Let's get into crypto. Japan's finance minister, they are saying that government is prepared to take comprehensive action in markets. And we just dropped a few days ago the reverse carry trade update. If you missed that, go back and check it out. But perfect timing because Japan officially approves bill to recognize cryptocurrency as a financial asset. If you go back and watch the reverse carry update, not only did we talk about the current situation on that reverse carry trade, we also talked about how Japan is positioned and SBI has been positioned working with Ripple on the XRP ledger, tokenizing not just RLUSD, but other stablecoins, bringing that liquidity to the XRP ledger, and how the XRP ledger is perfectly positioned for providing some liquidity as the reverse carry trade unwinds. In the United States of America, our Treasury is going all in, and this is a big deal, very bullish. U.S. Treasury OCCIP announced a new initiative to strengthen cybersecurity across the digital asset industry. Eligible U.S. digital asset firms and industry organizations that meet Treasury's criteria will be able to receive at no cost the same actionable cybersecurity information Treasury regularly shares with traditional U.S. financial institutions. Interested firms should contact the OCCIP. They give you the email. And this is what we've been asking for. We don't mind, right, that there's going to be a couple police officers patrolling traffic on the road. We want rules of the road. We want to be regulated. And we want the same safety measures that the traditional financial system and traditional players get. We want that same protection for our digital asset space. And in fact, as all of you guys know, it's easier to track and trace the bad actors in the crime on the blockchain than it is through the traditional methods. So we're not trying to hide. We've been asking for this. And the good news is that the Treasury is now delivering. Along with our SEC and our CFTC, the regulators are no longer working against the American people, American capital markets, and I'm hopeful that we will maintain and really restore the gold standard of capital markets. We're missing the crypto regulation. That's the final piece. Let's get it done, and let's maintain these regulators. The ongoing shift that we see is a positive one. We need to keep it up. We don't sit back and we don't say, okay, job's finished. Job's not finished. The regulators are doing much better than they were. They're not attacking us. They're actually giving guidance. This is what we've been asking for. Let's keep the pressure applied. And speaking of that pressure, it has become a landmine that you don't want to step on. This is Representative Timmons explaining why being anti-crypto is now politically risky. I'm not going to play the clip. You get the point. The DC dance still carries on, but they're starting to realize that they better dance with the crypto community. And that's because we've been applying pressure. That's because we have lots of money, lots and lots of money. And some people don't like that. They're going to have to deal with that. Because not only are we seeing the Fair Shake PAC that Ripple funded 50 million plus last election, I just saw that the Tether camp, they got a new political action committee that they formed up. The crypto money's not going away. And even with the bear market, our crypto money's not going away. We will continue to dominate in elections. This is so positive for our industry that we're finally getting noticed. We're getting respected. Now we're getting regulated. And now we can just focus on building, which is what we've always wanted. But to the topic and title of today's video, XRP $1 before $10. Let's break it down. The thesis has been simple for the past couple of weeks. I've been saying that we haven't reached the climax of this conflict, and that the climax of this conflict, the next round of escalation, will bring in a double bottom, or at least take us close to a double bottom, and maybe we even go set new lows. And that would be for Bitcoin, that would be for XRP, that would be for the broader crypto market. Just like what was that? Morgan Stanley said, or no, JP Morgan, that if we break this ceasefire, WTI oil makes new highs, equities make new lows. Crypto would also make new lows in that environment. Let's see the setup from somebody who has the technical analysis that we like to lean on, Cassie Trades. Huge shout out to her. The bounce is over on XRP, now watching for wave 3 down. The ceasefire push over the last several hours sent XRP perfectly into the 618 retracement and finally gave us a clean wave 2. So the ceasefire that was reported this week, that was never actually a ceasefire, was enough for the market to believe it and act like it was real, and it pushed up equities and stocks. It also pushed up cryptocurrency, including XRP. Now, this knocked out the one of the smaller subwave counts, but the bigger structure hasn't changed. The real move hasn't happened yet. I'm still expecting a wave 3 down towards $1.09, and this should accelerate fast. Here's the chart. So she's counting the waves in the Elliott wave theory. That's what this technical analysis is. And it has us going down here for a first stop at about $1.08, $1.09. And then continuing, wave 4 will be a little bounce back up to maybe $1.20. And then we finish this move down for the complete wave, fifth wave down here to 86 cents. Now, I was reading in the comments down below because some people were asking, if she was still expecting that drop down to 87, and she says yes, still expecting the 854 retrace at 87 cents. So that's the fib, the 854 retrace at 87 cents in the wave 5. But the subwave 3 is landing at the first macro, 786 support, and ranging for a bit before breaking in my plan. So going back to the chart, the 786 is this 108, 109 level. So we break down for a first stop, pit stop at $1.09, which would basically be the double bottom, right? So we'd see XRP already went down to $1.11 in February, same spot, double bottom. Rallies on that wave 4 back up to $1.20, $1.15, something like that. And then finally breaks down and completes this correction. And that brings in our bear market low at 86, 87 cents. Don't try to time this perfectly. Don't try to time the absolute bottom. I've already said it, and I just do this to be transparent with everybody, not to give you financial advice. I'm front running all these levels. I'm front running all of it. I'm front running all of you guys. But I share my orders publicly. So if you want to front run me, you can. But I just am honest. With the little bit of money that we have left, surviving this bear market, this economy, and the inflation, I got my orders placed. I'm front running with orders at $1.22, $1.21, $1.07. And then I'm also going to be placing some orders right around $1 as well too. Anything under $1, we're going to be eating it up and spending every last dollar that we have. That's how I'm doing it, okay? But in the meantime, we have Bitcoin trading up and the stock market trading up today as if everything's okay and we're going to achieve peace, right? And that brings Bitcoin up to 73,000. XRP popping up here today to about $1.36. But I had my target back here. My timing was off on the target, but the target remains intact that we would see $1.20 up here at the top, all the way down to about 95 cents. So give or take a few pennies here or there, give or take a couple weeks on the timeline. Looks like our analysis is still going to play out. I position myself accordingly with buy orders on the digital assets on the downside, and I've now entered an oil long to hedge my bet as well. But this is the setup. This brings the most pain, like I said at the start of this episode. The most painful outcome for retail traders and speculators and investors is also the most profitable scenario for the market makers, where they wipe out all the leverage, they wipe out all the longs, taking us down to $1, kill everybody, metaphorically speaking, of course. But really, it's getting brutal out there. Our crypto space is beaten up so bad right now. This is the bottom. Like, this is bottoming structure, bottoming formation, bottoming sentiment, buying opportunity. Thank you very much. If you got it, this is a great opportunity. And I understand how tough it is to buy the dip during these times. There's a reason why. The sentiment's so bad, it's so negative. You're feeling the cost of inflation, which we just got the inflation reading again this morning. It's back up above 3%. So I understand how difficult it is. One, to have the money to invest, but two, psychologically to invest when everybody's telling you to quit crypto. You're an idiot. Why did you get in crypto? XRP sucks. Meanwhile, this is the bottom. Don't need to time it perfectly. We just try to get close, dollar cost averaging down here near the bottom. Let it play out. And you know what's going to happen on the other side of this. And that's the journey back to $10. XRP $1 before $10. Let me know in the comments down below whether you agree, disagree with my analysis and how I'm positioned. And also let me know how you're positioned as well too. Are you done buying? You still buying? If you want to be transparent like me, you can say where you're placing your buy orders at. Let us know in the comments down below. And if you appreciate these updates, please help us out by liking this video, sharing it out far and wide. And if you want to join us in our private community, we have our Discord weekly call every Saturday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern. So we'll be doing that tomorrow morning. We'd love to have you there. Go to my website. You sign up through Patreon to get access to Discord. Come join the family. And God bless you all. Have a great weekend. I am your host, Zach Rector. I really appreciate all of the love and support. If you want to support the channel, just remember that you can start by smashing that thumbs up for me, sharing this content far and wide, and everything else is at my website.